Welcome to another edition of Tell Me Why. Here's the deal on this show. Desiree, I'll tell you as well. We take our fantastic camera crew and our amazing producer, P. Mace. Let's go ahead and applaud for P. Mace right now. She doesn't get enough applause. They go out and they hit the 4 states, and they go to schools all over the 4 states. They talk to the young'uns, or if they're your age, the same age as you are-uns, and they ask them questions about just about anything. And today we're talking about becoming beautiful, becoming the person that you want to be as far as your looks go, specifically hair. And I've had a hair problem my entire life. You're looking at it, and we're gonna find out what we can do about this and maybe even answer a number of your hair-related questions on Tell Me Why. So is our producer Priscilla in the building? Can you say anything out loud, Priscilla? Oh, there she is. She's right over there. And we have all kinds of great questions from all over the 4 states. Why does she look down like that? Does she look down like, do you know Priscilla? Does she do that a lot? She's embarrassed? She's embarrassed to be working with me, I think. Priscilla, we've got questions from all over the 4 states. What's our first question for Desiree today? Actually, let's stop. Let's just stop right there and let me talk to Desiree for a second. Are you good with that? Okay, thumbs up. Let's talk about Desiree and how she came to be one of the great hairdressers in the 4 states. Go with me on this, okay? How did you get interested in making people look even better than they might already look?
Well, I had a cousin who did hair, and she was my older cousin, so we always went and we visited her at the hair salon, and just seeing the way that she interacted with her other employees and just the whole environment in the salon, I just was really interested in doing hair from that point forward. And that was what I was little, probably 5. 5,
and so at that point the hair bug, and let's hope you don't have those, the hair bug bit you.
Exactly, yes.
And you got interested, and so you've turned that into a very, very successful career. Did she actually own her own hairdressing salon at the time?
Not at the time, but she does now.
She does now.
Yeah, she's got a little she shed in the back of her house.
She shed. Okay, and do you guys work together?
Oh, we don't.
You do not?
But
you
she
have your
really
own?
Inspired me, and I've got my own thing going on.
Okay, is it a she shed?
Not yet.
She shed's coming. Got to be careful how you say that.
Yeah.
All right, so are you ready to answer some of these great questions from some of the most wonderful, brilliant minds among the 4 states?
Ready or
and
not.
And maybe even mine. We've got a little bit of extra time. All right, Priscilla Mace, what is our very first question?
Hi, my name is Kinley Lucas, and I'm 10 years old. Can you tell me how my hair grows?
Didn't Priscilla Mace do a great job of getting Kinley to ask that question?
That was a great
question. How about one more round of applause for the amazing producerhood of P. Mace. P. Mace got Kinley to ask the question. Kinley's, by the way, 10 years old, in case you were wondering. Kinley wanted to know, is 10, right? 10 years old. Kinley wants to know how hair grows. I have no idea. I'm a meteorologist. I can tell you how hair attracts electricity, but you know how hair grows. So let's go ahead. You can use mine as an example.
Okay. So, and I've got my notes here because it's a confusing system.
I'm already confused.
So, your hair grows in 4 different stages.
Okay.
The first stage is called anagen, which is like where it's actively growing, and this can last 2 to 7 years.
Okay. Is this one piece of hair, one follicle of hair?
One follicle, the life cycle of the actual hair strand.
Okay, so 2 to 7 what?
2 to 7 years.
2 to 7 years. A lot of stuff's going up here in my scalp,
Yeah.
right? For a long time.
And hopefully you get a haircut more often than 2 to 7 years.
I do, or they wouldn't.
So
be
you
on
wouldn't
television.
really be able to see how far that hair grows. But
Exactly.
the next stage would be catagen, which is a regression. And that's when the hair follicle is still in, but it's slowly detaching itself and cutting itself off from the blood flow.
Why does it do that?
Because it's about to go into telogen, which is a rest mode. And
Okay.
it goes dormant, like it's hibernating for the winter.
Really?
And that's gonna last about 3 months.
3 months. Okay.
And then you have the final stage, which is called exogen, which is
Exogen.
where we get our shedding.
That's when the hair finally falls out
And it just freely
plugs
falls.
up your brain.
You're not gonna, yes, exactly. You're not gonna notice it. And you know what's crazy is you can lose, every day, you can lose 50 to 150 hairs in a single day.
Really?
Yes.
Does that vary as you age? Like, do you start to lose more in a single day when you get older?
It really depends on like what's going on with your body at the time.
Okay.
So if you're changing medications, that can cause you to shed a little bit more. Or a little bit less, or if you're going through hormone changes, or
maybe
if you're eating
treatment.
something, or treatment, yeah.
Yeah.
It could be a number of things that cause that to kind of slow down.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Look at 4 different things. Let's run over those 4
So
once again.
you got anagen, which is growth,
Anagen, that's the very first one.
catagen, which is regression, and it's slowly breaking itself
whoa.
off. Yep. Into rest, where it's just hanging out,
Okay,
just chilling on the hair.
Kind of looking like this.
And then exogen, which it's shedding, and you're
It's shedding
expelling that
and
hair.
it's gone, and that's when you get the Dyson
That's it.
vacuum cleaner out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's here. We're all learning stuff today, aren't
I know,
we,
it's
Des?
pretty fascinating.
It is fascinating. All right. So I know we've got more than just the one question, and P. Mace, although I won't mention her name this time, P. Mace is going to once again tell us or cue up the video where we have our second question. Hit it.
Hi, my name is Brinley, and I'm 10 years old, and my question is, why does hair grow?
Man, doesn't P. Mace do an incredible job of getting these kids to ask these wonderful questions?
Phenomenal.
Let's not applaud for her this time, but we'll save it for a little bit later on in the show, all right? So, Brinley wants to know a question. She wants to ask a question, and did, that I don't think has ever even occurred to me. That's how we know we have the most brilliant students in the 4 states. Brinley's question, why does hair grow? Why do we have hair on our heads and stuff?
Yeah. Well, there's a few reasons.
All right.
So the hair on your head is made to help shield you from the sun.
Okay.
And the hair on your
UV rays.
Yes,
All right.
to give you some shade. The hair on your body is made to keep you warm.
Okay.
And
I like this. I like that
Yes.
you're illustrating
Like-
this. Warmer.
And then even your eyebrows
Yeah.
and your eyelashes help protect your eyes from dirt and things coming into them. And even the hairs in your nostrils are made to do that, to kind of filter out the air.
Okay.
So it's all evolutionary, the reasons why we have hair on our bodies.
That is fascinating. At any point in this process, is it a beautification process? I mean, is hair designed to make a person or an animal more attractive?
Yes.
That's
like,
part of it.
especially like for like if you're trying to find a mate.
Right.
With lions, especially their manes, the
Yeah.
bigger the mane, the more attractive that mate is going to be.
Really?
So it is very like animalistic in that sense, yes.
It is. So there's science here. There's actually the filtering of all of these things. There's beauty involved or attractiveness
Yes.
involved so that you can attract a mate or someone just to, hang out, play video games.
Right. I like their hair. Let's hang out.
If I had a dime for every time I said that, and nobody would hang out with me, which is sad. So, all right, so I think we've got yet another wonderful hair-related question. Let's find out what that question is.
Hi, my name is Zimri. I'm 10 years old, and my question is, why does our hair turn gray when we get older?
Samory, I have asked that question so many times because I'm old and it's already happened. I use this I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm 70 years old. I use this shampoo that makes my hair a little bit darker. It's not really dyeing. Is it? Is that what it's called, dyeing? Or it, because I put it on every day and then I rinse it off and it makes my hair a little tiny bit darker.
Just a little bit. It's
that
more,
dyeing?
yes.
Okay.
Technically, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm dyeing my hair. So now
But
you
it's
know.
it's more of like, we call it a gray blending.
Okay.
We're not trying to cover everything completely,
Okay.
so it's more natural looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this segment here, you feel free to point out the stuff in my head that needs to be blended better, okay? Or maybe just needs to be yanked. I don't know, but that's a great question. Why and how does hair go gray?
So we talked about our hair follicles.
Yes.
And you have the same hair follicles for your whole life, and that's where the pigment in our hair is called melanin, and that's where that melanin is created.
All right.
So over time, your hair follicle is working, and it's making the melanin. And then slowly over time, it kind of runs out of that power.
Oh.
And it gets tired.
It loses
and it
its
loses
strength.
its ability to make the melanin, yes.
Okay, and the melanin is the darker
Is the
color.
color,
It's
yes.
the color in the hair.
Yes.
Okay.
And so gray hair is completely absent of melanin. It's totally white.
Okay, so if we didn't have melanin, all of our hair would be our hair would
And
be white.
melanin's in your skin too, so we would just look totally different.
Okay.
You wouldn't get a sunburn, that's also melanin.
All right, that helps
tan.
us from getting sunburn. The melanin does.
Helps protect you.
So here's a question that just occurred to me: does a person who is an albino, and maybe you should actually define what that means? Does a person who is an albino have no melanin in their hair?
Yeah, well basically their hair follicles don't have the ability to produce the melanin.
To produce the melanin, and if you don't know, what is an albino person?
It's someone who just lacks all melanin and color in their hair and their skin, yes.
Now, if you are an albino, and there may be some watching, I don't know. If you're an albino, does that mean that every single follicle of hair on your head, whether it's your arm, whether it's your mustache or your head, is it all white?
It should be, yes.
It should
in
be
theory.
all white, in theory. Okay. So,
I think there's different, I think it's a spectrum though.
okay.
I think you can have some people that have some color to their hair, but they don't have much to their skin, or, vice versa.
Oh, I got one more question.
Okay.
All right. A lot of people who are albinos, they also, their eyes are a little bit different shade. In fact, some of them look almost like a bunny rabbit because their eyes are kind of pink. Is that all involved in the whole melanin process? Really?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Because that's what gives color to everything. Our eyes.
The
our
melanin
skin.
does.
Yes.
Interesting. All right. Do you see anything up here that you would like to comment on? I'll
mean,
bend over just a little bit.
It's
so
not.
the
It's
camera
not
people-
too bad.
Yeah. Can you see where I put the shampoo? in?
I can't see where you put the shampoo. It's very
was up
nicely
here.
blended.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I spend like
It's
a.
working well.
Okay. It is.
It's a great product you can recommend to other people probably.
I can't remember the name of it. Color something. I don't know. But I put it on every day, and it's really gross, kind of. It's really dark.
gross.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Have you seen this stuff?
Does it dye your hands ever?
It does dye your hands, so I end up looking a little bit dark and orange
Really
and
creepy.
stuff. But for this, it's absolutely
well worth it.
Absolutely. Thanks for being so enthusiastic, Desiree. All right, we've got more questions. Let's hear one of them.
Hi, my name is Jenny, and I'm 8 years old. How long did it take you to go to school to learn how to be a hairdresser?
Sounds like Jenny's got some ideas about maybe taking over your job. Jenny wants to know, 8-year-old, great question. How long did you have to go to school to become the hairdresser, the renowned hairdresser that you are currently today, Desiree?
Well, it only took about a year, but you have to get 1,500 hours in the state of Missouri in order to be able to test and get your license.
Okay, 1,500 hours of what?
We're actively doing schoolwork or actively working on clients in the
Okay.
school and practicing those skills that you learn.
So at a cosmetology, is it a cosmetology school?
Yes.
At a cosmetology school, people will come in and they will hand their hair over to you.
Yes, exactly.
To do with you, well, they will probably give you some ideas what they want, but then they will allow you to almost experiment on them, not really, but kind of do what they want you to do. And it's also giving you an opportunity to learn how to do that. And you're being overseen by teachers and by the other people who are in the classroom.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So how does that work? Like say, I would like to go to a school. Where did you go?
I went to City Point Beauty Academy in Webb City.
In Webb City. So I come walking into City Point and I say, this ain't working for me. I hear about this Desiree, who's one of your students here. Can Desiree fix my head? And then they go, well, if anybody can, Desiree can. So what happens then? Is it just like going to
It's
get a
just
regular
like
haircut?
going to a regular salon. They really want you to practice that professionalism and being able to consult with people and figure out what they really want out of the service. So yeah, it's just like going to a regular salon, except it takes a little bit more time because you're getting checks from your teacher.
Oh, I see.
When you're doing that consultation before you even start on the haircut, and then all throughout they're coming in to check in. So you're going to have that oversight, but it's still the person behind the chair doing your hair.
Sure.
So.
It's still Desiree doing the hair.
And I'm so super thankful for people that visit schools because, without that hands-on experience, learning would be so difficult, especially with hair, because there's so many factors that go into it.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun.
And I work with somebody who, I'm probably you do too, who will sit down and they will try to tell you what they want their hair to look like. I think probably the go-to on this is, I want to look like Rachel from Friends.
Yes.
Do you still get that?
Yes, still.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
And so what do you tell them if you look at them and they just don't have Rachel hair? Do some people have Rachel hair and some people don't have Rachel hair, or can you Rachelize just about anybody?
I think you can Rachelize just about anybody, but it really comes down to how much time the person has, their lifestyle. A lot of whenever I'm consulting with people, I'm trying to figure out, is this going to fit in their life the way that it should?
And why would you ask that question? Is it because it requires a lot of maintenance?
A lot of maintenance or a lot of styling. If like you're a mom and don't have much time in the morning, you're not going to want to spend 30 minutes on your hair.
Right.
So those are the main things that you kind of take into account. Hair type and things like that are important, but if you've got the time and you want to put the effort in, I really think you can make almost anything happen with your hair.
So when you have this consultation with the people who either come to the hair, where you do your hair work, or go to the schools, there's a little bit of psychology involved there, isn't there?
Big time.
Is that right?
Yes.
And do they teach you that in cosmetology school, that, ask this question, be careful how this question is answered? Is all of that discussed?
Yeah. But a lot of it is just practicing it and learning it firsthand.
Right. So how do you tell somebody when their hair didn't come out quite the way they wanted it to? Because I know this has to
Yes,
happen.
it does.
So how do you respond? Let's say I want to look like George Clooney and I don't seem to look like George Clooney. What happened?
Well, I always try and take accountability and say, this is the work I did.
Oh, good.
And, there's always going to be a way to fix things. But you try to have the mindset in the consultation of what is realistic for this person. So you don't have to manage those expectations later.
You try to nip that in the bud before the scissors come out.
We're not going to go there.
That's brilliant. Okay, do we have time? I think we have time for one more. We have time for one more question. Here's that question.
Hi, my name is Jakayla and I'm 8. How did you become a hairdresser for your job?
Jakayla, interesting question. So essentially, I think what she wonders is what happened between the time you graduated from cosmetology school and the time that you opened the doors up to Desiree's Hair Joint.
Okay.
Maybe I got the name wrong on that. What is
that's
the name
good.
of your business?
Okay, so I work at Salon Brands.
Salon
I rent
Brands.
a booth there.
Okay.
So I do have like my own business, but it's still under Salon Brands.
Okay. So, but
yeah.
before you started at Salon Brands and you graduated from cosmetology school, how long was that period of time, and what did you have to do in order to open the door at Salon Brands?
Okay, so that is a really, really good question, because after you graduate school, you don't have your license yet. You have to go and you have to take 2 tests. There's one that's called a practical, which is you're actually physically showing them how you do hair and how you keep everything clean in between your services. And then you have a written test, which is just your state law test.
Okay.
So once you pass those tests, you get your license, and then I started working in more like chain salons where I was taking a lot of walk-ins. That way I got to do every kind of service that you can imagine.
And is that's
involving
training
hair.
in some?
Yes.
I'll bet that is.
I will say what I learned in school helped me pass that test,
Right.
but that test isn't really like applicable to real life hair. So you kind of have to get out and do the services and practice to really get a grasp on what you're doing. And I would say it took me about 5 years of working behind the chair before I was like, okay, you know, I'm really fully confident in this and I really know what I'm doing.
So what was the difference between the things that you learned in cosmetology school and real life hairdressing, what you're doing now?
So what you learn in cosmetology school is basically to get you to pass that test, and it's very technical. You're doing a lot of like straight across haircuts. You're doing a lot of perms that are rolled just perfectly. So it's really getting those movements down and your sectioning down, but that is
Sectioning. What is that?
sectioning where you split a part of the hair away from other hair. You
Okay,
kind of like,
when you're driving down in Kansas and you see the farms, sort
yes,
of like that. Is
that's
that the way
a
you look at
section
hair?
of hair, yeah.
Okay. See, I
Yeah.
could do this.
Yeah, you could.
No, I could not.
You've got 1 hour down here on your cosmetology
Only
license.
249 to go, right? This is fascinating. So I think we've pretty much got all the questions. Anything else you'd like to say to any of our young viewers or even the viewers who aren't young?
I would say if you're interested in doing hair, definitely go for it. It's a beautiful career. It's highly rewarding. I have relationships with my clients that I would never have otherwise, and it's just like you get to watch people's kids grow up and you get to be there for the best times in their lives. So it's really a fulfilling career.
And you seem to love that
I
part.
do love that part.
It's the social interaction.
Yes.
That's part of all of this, because you don't want to go to a hairdresser who you don't relate to
No.
on a social basis.
Right.
And you that's an important part of this, right?
Yes. And you kind of have to entertain people a little bit
You
while
do?
they're in your chair
Really?
a little.
So have you ever cut little bitty kids' hair?
Oh, of course, yes.
How do you entertain them? Do you juggle? Do you
You
like,
kind of have to like move with them a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like, I'll give you this sucker if you sit still, or
And this is still for young people, right?
Yeah.
Because that works on me.
does it?
I sometimes will
Well,
sit still if you
If
get
you're ever
sometimes.
coming in with for a haircut, I'll keep the suckers
Oh, you're going to have to
right
do
there.
that. Desiree, thank you so much.
Thank
Your
you.
answers were fantastic.
Thank you.
And that is another episode of Tell Me Why. There's a bunch of them. Just keep flipping around here on 4 States Plus and you'll find them, or wherever it is you're flipping, because we like when you watch them. So we'll see you next time. Bye.